What if I told you that a single sentence, spoken at the right moment, could make a woman stop in her tracks, tilt her head, and feel something she can't explain? Not because you're charming, not because you're good-looking, and certainly not because you're trying hard, but because your words hit her where it counts most, her emotions, her unconscious, that place where real attraction lives. Most men think they have to impress women with grand gestures or clever lines. But the truth? The men who make the deepest impact are the ones who speak with calm clarity and quiet power. The Stoics believe that a man's words should be few, but meaningful, deliberate, and grounded in self-awareness. Not words to win attention, but words that reveal depth, strength, selectiveness. And when spoken from that place, a single phrase can become unforgettable. In this video, you won't learn how to manipulate. You'll learn how to resonate, how to speak like a man who doesn't chase approval, because he already approves of himself. These 6 phrases, when said with the right energy, don't just attract women, they challenge them. They intrigue them. They awaken something inside them. So if you've ever felt invisible, if you've ever wondered how to stand out without being loud, this is your answer. Phrase 1, you have a unique way about you. Most men say things like, you're beautiful. You look amazing tonight, thinking that's enough to stand out. But every guy says that, and the truth is, it doesn't reach her. It doesn't make her stop and feel anything. Because those words, they're surface level, rehearsed, predictable. They don't open any emotional door, and they certainly don't make her remember you. But then comes this phrase, quiet, unexpected, and disarming. You have a unique way about you. I like that. And everything slows down. This sentence touches a different part of her, the part that craves to be seen for something deeper than just her looks. It doesn't flatter, it recognizes. And in a world where women are constantly judged on appearance, that feeling of being emotionally noticed is rare and powerful. It makes her pause. It makes her wonder, what did he see in me? Was it the way she laughed too loud at her own joke? The way her eyes lit up when she talked about her childhood dog? Or the quiet confidence in how she tells stories? That curiosity, that loop left open, creates emotional magnetism. She starts connecting dots in her own mind, and every dot leads back to you. But timing matters. You don't use this line like a magic trick. You wait. You listen. You let the moment breathe. Maybe she just said something real, something vulnerable or weird or full of passion. That's when you pause, hold her gaze, and say it slowly, like you just discovered something rare. You have a unique way about you. I like that. Not like a performance, but like a realization. That's what makes the line unforgettable. Not the words, but the weight behind them. And once she feels that weight, she'll start showing you even more of who she really is. Phrase 2, I like women who know what they want. On the surface, it sounds like a compliment, but at its core, this phrase flips the dynamic. Most men, especially when they're attracted to a woman, slip into approval-seeking mode. They nod too quickly, they smile too wide, they agree with whatever she says, just to stay in her good graces. And without realizing it, they send one clear message. You're the prize. I'm the one auditioning. But when you look her in the eye grounded, calm, and say, I like women who know what they want, everything shifts. Now you are the one observing. You're the one with a standard. And whether she says it out loud or not, a question begins forming in her mind. Do I seem like that to him? Am I the kind of woman he respects? That's the moment attraction deepens, not because you impressed her, but because you challenged her, silently. This phrase isn't about ego. It's about clarity, and clarity is rare. Most women don't hear that from men. They hear vague words, indecisive energy, guys who mold themselves to whatever they think she wants. But when you express a value, with no pressure, no arrogance, just honesty, she feels it, and she respects it. Now here's when to say it. Maybe she orders boldly. Maybe she speaks her mind without hesitation. Maybe she says she's not here to play games. That's your window. You lean in slightly, nod with a subtle smile, and say it. I like women who know what they want. And then you stop talking. Don't soften it. Don't explain it. Let it sit. Let your silence show that you meant it. And here's the real test. After you say it, you have to live it. If she becomes indecisive or flaky, and you still chase, your words mean nothing. But if you stay calm, grounded, consistent, she'll feel it, and she'll want to rise to that level. Because now she's no longer wondering if you're good enough for her. She's wondering if she's good enough for you. Phrase 3, that's what I like most about you. There's a reason why most compliments fade the moment they're heard. Because they only touch the surface. You look great. Nice dress. You're beautiful. These aren't wrong, but they're forgettable. Because every man sees the same thing, and says the same thing. But then comes this line. That's what I like most about you. And suddenly, everything changes. Why? Because now, you're not complimenting her looks. You're noticing something that most people overlook. You're seeing who she is, not just how she appears. Maybe she just shared how much she cares for her family. Maybe she opened up about her goals, her setbacks, her weird obsession with 80s music. And she didn't think anyone would care. But you noticed. And you said it out loud. That's what I like most about you. You didn't say it to flatter her. You said it because it was real. And in that moment, you gave her something almost no one gives, emotional recognition. That one sentence becomes a fingerprint on her memory. Because it's not just a compliment, it's a mirror. She feels seen. Not in a creepy, intense way, but in a way that says, I'm paying attention, and I like what I see. And when a woman feels emotionally seen, she starts opening doors she usually keeps shut. Here's how to use it. Let her talk. Really talk. Let her show you something honest. Then slow down, lower your voice, and say it. That right there, that's what I like most about you. Then pause. Let the silence do the rest. Because in that pause, she'll feel it. Not just the compliment, but the man behind it. Phrase 4. I don't know if you can handle me. There's a moment in every flirtatious conversation when she gets playful. Maybe she teases you, maybe she says she's not easily impressed, or maybe she gives you that confident smirk that says, I've seen it all. That's when you look at her calm, steady, without blinking, and say, I don't know if you can handle me. Then silence. No smile, no follow-up, no explanation. Just stillness. Because the power of this line doesn't come from what you say. It comes from what you don't say. It introduces mystery, it creates tension, and it flips the dynamic instantly. Most men make themselves too easy to read. They try to be likable, agreeable, easygoing, hoping that being non-threatening makes them attractive. But here's the truth. If she feels like she already knows everything about you, she'll stop being curious. And when curiosity dies, attraction follows. But when you hint, subtly, that there's more beneath the surface, that you're not here to be predictable or easy, that's when she leans in. Not because you're showing off, but because you're inviting her into a world she hasn't figured out yet. This phrase is not about arrogance. It's about depth. It suggests that you're layered, intense, and unapologetically yourself. But remember, you can't just say it, you have to embody it. If you say, I don't know if you can handle me, and then start seeking her validation 5 minutes later, the magic is gone. But if you stay composed, if you don't try to impress or explain, she'll start asking herself questions. What makes him think I can't handle him? What's he hiding? What makes him different? And that's exactly where you want her, invested, intrigued, and emotionally activated. Because now, she's not just reacting to your charm, she's chasing your mystery. And mystery, when backed by confidence, is magnetic. Phrase 5. I'm not that easy. It usually starts when she tries to test you. Maybe she flirts a little too hard. Maybe she playfully assumes you'll fall for her charm. Or maybe she's used to men reacting instantly the moment she gives them any attention. But instead of melting, instead of jumping through hoops to impress her, you simply smile, hold your ground, and say, I'm not that easy. Then pause. Let the silence stretch just enough for her to feel something shift. This phrase works because it's unexpected. Most men, even the confident ones, tend to reward female attention like it's gold. One compliment from her, and they fold. One little laugh, and they start chasing. And in doing so, they flip the dynamic, giving her all the power without asking if she's even earned it. But when you say, I'm not that easy, you send a very different message. You let her know, gently, playfully, but clearly, that your attention has a price. That you don't just give yourself away. And that's rare. Because deep down, women admire men who have standards, men who don't react to everything, men who choose with intention. This phrase doesn't just deflect flirtation, it redefines the rules. It says, I'm not here to be won over by a look or a compliment. I'm here to see if you match the level I live at. And that makes her pause. Not in offense, but in curiosity. Suddenly she's wondering, wait, did he just resist me? Is he serious? And whether she says it or not, something inside her becomes alert. That alertness, that tension, is the beginning of attraction. So use this phrase with a light smile. Say it with calm assurance. Don't overplay it, don't explain it, just let it hang in the air. And the right kind of woman, the one who respects strength, will lean in closer, not pull away. Because now she sees what most men never show her: restraint and real value. Phrase 6. You speak like someone who's been through things, but never lost himself. Let's be honest, words alone don't change anything. Anyone can memorize lines, recite phrases, or copy what they saw on the internet. But what makes a sentence unforgettable is who says it, and how he says it. That's why the final phrase isn't something flashy. It's not seductive or clever. It's quiet, strong, and real. You speak like someone who's been through things, but never lost himself. Now imagine a woman hearing that from you. Not early in the conversation, not when she's just getting to know you, but after she's seen your composure, felt your presence, and noticed the way you listen, respond, and carry yourself. That line doesn't flatter. It confirms. It tells her, I see depth in you, and I know it's because you've lived. It's the kind of sentence that comes after trust has started to form, when she's opened up just enough for you to recognize something real. And when you say it, slowly, steadily, it doesn't just make her feel good, it makes her seen. Not as a pretty face, but as a woman with a past, a story, a soul. This phrase has power because it speaks from one grounded spirit to another. It bypasses the performance, the games, the charm, and lands deep in the emotional core. And the moment you say it, she'll feel it. Her guard softens. Her voice slows. She stops trying to impress and just starts being. That's where real connection lives. Because when a man speaks from calm experience, not noise, not neediness, but stillness, even silence becomes attractive. And once she feels that energy in you, she'll lean in. Not for validation, but for truth. And that truth is simple. You're not like the others, and she knows it. So now you have the words. 6 phrases that go deeper than compliments, deeper than tactics, phrases that speak directly to her emotional core. But don't make the mistake that most men make. Don't think it's the words that do the work. It never is. It's the man behind the words. The tone, the silence, the presence. That's what she truly feels. Because the truth is, women don't remember what you said, they remember how they felt when you said it. And if you speak from a place of need, of trying to impress, of trying to win, she'll feel that. But if you speak from grounded stillness, if your energy says, I know who I am, and I see you too, then you don't need to chase. You don't need to perform. You simply exist, and she gravitates. The Stoics taught this over and over again, that the most powerful men are not the loudest, not the most clever, but the ones who master their inner world. And when your inner world is quiet, confident, and rooted in purpose, your words become unforgettable. So use these phrases, but only when they're true. Only when the moment is real. Only when you're calm enough to let your silence do the talking. And when you do that, she won't just hear you, she'll feel you. And long after the conversation ends, she'll keep replaying that moment in her mind. Not because of what you said, but because for the first time in a long time, she felt something real.